What's going on, everybody? Dean Christener out here in Irvine, California. We're at our new spot. Extremely excited to make this video and to give a tip of the day. I want to say, I'm going to be coming out with a lot more of these. Trying to stay as consistent as possible. I know I'm always telling you that, so stay consistent. I'm going to practice what I preach, and likewise. But what I want to talk to you guys about is competing in an industry versus dominating the industry. And there's really such a big difference between the two, and Grant Cardone could not have put it together better. And that's basically that competing is healthy, dominating is immunity. All right, and it made so much sense to me because, some of the top companies that we resonate when we think of, big companies that dominated in their sectors, Google, IBM, Xerox, Apple, all these companies did, whatever it took to go the extra length, to rise above being average, to rise above what society, considered being well done, to become excellent, to take massive action. Okay, and if you want to dominate something, you have to take massive action to get there. Okay, if you really think about it, competing, it allows us not to be creative. Okay, when you're dominating, you're being innovative. You're always ahead of the curve. Everybody's chasing you. The reason why Apple was so successful was because they were always ahead and everybody else was trying to mimic what they were doing. Okay, so that is a huge part of dominating a sector. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the first one to that space, to that company, to that industry. It doesn't. But you have to be number one in that space, in that company. You have to be the one that influences. When people think of Wake Up Now, who do they think of? They think of you because you're dominating, okay? When they think of, an Apple, what do people think of when you hear Apple? You think of, the leading computer manufacturer of today. It's amazing what domination versus competition can do. And when you start putting your goals, instead of, hey, I'm going to compete with this leader, I'm going to compete with this company, and you change your mindset and said, I'm going to dominate this. I'm going to be the person that everybody thinks of when they think of this industry, when they think of the health and wellness, industry, whatever it is. You need to expand. You need to dominate. You have to create confidence to get there. You need to have self-development. And all that comes from, in the end, from dominating an industry is expanding your mindset, getting to be something bigger, something more. So it's the same thing when we say, do what others won't to get what others can't. It's the same thing when you're actually in the industry, when you're actually working toward your goals, okay? And it's every company out there, they're always looking, where can I edge past the other competitor? Where can I get past the competitor so I can be the denominator, okay? And I'm saying always function ethically, okay? That's the number one. But look, pay attention, be aware. What are others doing and where can you get ahead? Where would you have the slight advantage to get past them? I'm sure all those big companies I just mentioned, they were always paying attention to what everybody else was doing so they could be ahead. So they would be leading instead of chasing. So they could be causing the trend instead of, just following the trend. We're leaders, okay? So in order to dominate, you're gonna have to lead, okay? It's not easy. It really isn't. You got to put yourself into an uncomfortable situation in order to get those dominating results. But if you're able to do that, and you're able to put those factors together, you will be able to get there. So with that being said, be a dominator, be creative, go against the norm, do what others are not doing so you can get those results. Okay, you never need to feel sorry for anyone. The marketplace is a brutal environment. Okay, there is a reason why the 97% are where they are at and the 3% own 97% of the wealth. It's because they're doing something that the 97% are not willing to do. It's because they're dominating in their field of work. Just like every one of us, whether it's network marketing or it's in the corporate field where companies are trying to dominate, you need to rise above average, because average is the formula for failure. Okay, it's failure because that's what society is always expecting of you. So if you do of just what society expects, that's what your result is going to be. Okay, so I'm going to close out this video, and again, main thing is competition versus domination. If you are dominating, you're not even putting energy into trying to compete against others. And that's what we're really trying to do. So again, my name's Dean Christener. You know, if any of this stood out to you, I'm more than happy to start working with you. You know, crossline, upline, we're all here to work. Let's make this company grow. Let's make this an iconic, you know, wonderful place where we can all, you know, reach our success and get to the top. Let's wake them up, you guys.